Hi, and welcome to British Dad Reacts. My name is John. Thank you for watching. I've got one main video and then 3 other kind of snippets to show you of what I think is just a wonderful, wonderful track from 2016 in the UK. So really kind of quite modern, I guess, at least for me. But before we just start, I want you to think of how people like David Bowie in the 70s created characters for his music as a way of communicating things, whether it was Ziggy Stardust or Aladdin Sane. And it was how he challenged, I guess, some of our views or perspectives on music, even gender. And I think that gave a voice to people who wanted to, I don't know, just be a bit different and see themselves differently. I also remember there was a film, and it was a remake of an original 30s German film. It was made by the American William Blake. Sorry, no, not William Blake, he's the English. Blake Edwards. And it was called Victor Victoria, where Julie Andrews only became successful by pretending to be a man. You've also got people like Boy George. People who just challenge things and just give people, I don't know, a different way of expressing themselves. This track reflects that. And we'll explain why later.
And every morning we fight so afraid. I miss them for the tears they shed. But I'm actually good. Can't help it if we're tilted. I am actually good. Can't help it if we. I am actually good. Can't help it if we're tilted. I am actually good. Can't help it if we're tilted. And mended souls. Trample over people while singing their thoughts. Hey, match them with my euphoria. When they said je suis plus folle que toi. But I'm actually good. Can't help it if we're tilted. I am actually good. Can't help it if we. I am actually good. I am actually good. Can't help it if we're tilted. Nous et la balle, on est de sortie. Pire qu'une simple moitié, on compte à demi-demi. Pile sur un des bas-côtés comme des origamis. Le bras tendu paraît cassé, tout n'est qu'épié et qui. Ces enfants bizarres, crachés dehors comme par hasard. Cachant l'effort dans le griffoir. Et une creepy son en étendard qui fait.
This is the fabulous track Tilted by Christine and the Queens. Now there's quite a bit of a story to this track in terms of, in this version it's sung in English and in French. There is a version that was just done purely in French, and there was an original version in English which had a slightly different name, and we'll come to that. So this is the representation of the person as Christine and the Queens. And this was a performance at the Brit Awards in 2017. Quite a prestigious acclamation of your skills and becoming part of that British musical scene to perform at the Brits.
My face, magic marker. I'm in my right place, can't you see? I'm doing my face with a magic marker. I'm in my right place.
what a wonderful, wonderful performance. And so clever to do that silhouetting at the background. And I think, as I recall, as I say, in this track, she's Christine and the Queens. And she's a dancer, she's a musician, she's a singer-songwriter, everything. Or at least she was in that persona. A French artist. She's been Christine and the Queens. She's been Christine, or Chris. She's now using the persona of Rahim Claude Redcar. She was born as Eloise Letitia. So this track Tilted is about, as he's described, about the feeling of imbalance and the awkwardness, but accepting that you have those things and it's okay. And you can be tilted. Now, we'll just do a little bit of the story. I think it's great. One of the things about the Brit Awards is Brits jump into all sorts of music. And this particular track was huge at the time. But let's go back a little bit. This was a performance of the original version, which was written in English, called Cripple. That was the track when it was called Cripple. And I think, obviously, certain things were lost in translation as cripple in English became not a very positive word. But that, and then the transformation into the word tilted, I think that being slightly different. Now, born in Nantes, her father was a professor of, or a university teacher of medieval history, specialising, I think, in English literature. Her mother was also a teacher and sadly died, which I think for a lot of people is always a blow. And so this is a person who's played around with personae or personas, whichever of the plurals you prefer. This is a version in French. Now, there's a couple of things in the English version, shall we say, although that does contain some French. It's not a direct translation from the French. In the French version, the first couple of lines, I think it's, if you translate it literally, it says, "I start my books at the end, and I hold my head high for nothing." In the English version, they sing, "I will die before Methuselah, so I'll fight sleep with ammonia." So there's kind of difference in the way the words were done and so forth. And obviously in English, Methuselah it's an interesting choice of word, really, because Methuselah is a biblical patriarch that is present in Judaism, Christianity, in some areas of the works in Islam, and even in with Mormons. Its common usage is now kind of associated with longevity, and Methuselah was said to have lived for over 900 years and was the connection between Adam and Noah. Not that I want to get too much into that, but that's just a little insight. The final bit of a video I want to show is it's with lyrics in English, but it's just the dancing and just the way this video is put together is just glorious.
Methuselah, so I'll fight sleep with ammonia. And every morning we fight so red, I miss them for the tears they shed. But I'm actually good, can't help it if we're tilted.
Can't help it if we're tilted. Some of us are tilted in all sorts of ways. Just another kind of anecdote as well. Christine and the Queens. The Queens came from the time that Christine spent in London. And there was a famous drag club called Madame Jojo's, and the drag people were referred to as Queens. And that's where Christine and the Queens came from, the Queens referring to that. So someone who has kind of challenged things and continues that tradition from the likes of Bowie, Mark Bolan even, through to, Boy George, but just produces great music. The current persona, as I say, is Rahim Redcar, still producing music, also on tour, and I would certainly check them out to go and see them. Just a great track, a great artist, dancer, and someone who, in the tradition of the people I've spoken about, just challenges us in a good way. Christine and the Queens, Tilted. Thank you so much for watching.